Our next unit is going to be Ultimate Frisbee. Many of you guys have played this before and are hopefully excited to play it again. It's one of my favorite sports by far, and I would like to start off though by pointing out that it's actually called Ultimate. Many of you guys know this as Ultimate Frisbee, but Frisbee is a registered trademark of Wham-O Incorporated, and every time you say Frisbee, you owe Wham-O Incorporated 2 cents. So I'm already costing myself a lot of money by explaining this, but I just want you guys to take note. We must call it Ultimate. So, that being said, let's make sure we know that we're playing Ultimate and not Disc Golf. These are both great games, but we're going to be focusing on the field sport, wherein 2 teams square off against each other on an open field, passing the disc back and forth and trying to catch it in the end zone. Disc Golf, it's a different sport. We'll play it eventually. It's going to be our 4th or 5th unit this year. It's a game that we throw discs at baskets, much like in regular golf. You start from a tee, you move downfield. Each time you throw the disc, it lands, you go over, pick it up, and throw it again. That's an individual sport, and we're going to be focusing on more athletic events such as Ultimate right now. So, Ultimate is actually governed in the United States by a group called USA Ultimate. They run clinics and tournaments throughout the United States. They govern high school play, college play, and even club play. There are high school teams all throughout California, and they have a championship every year. There are also regional championships wherein the western United States square off against each other, and it's really interesting, a lot of good stuff out there. So if you're more interested, if you'd like to see what's going on in our state and other states, head on over to usaultimate.org. You can find out more information. You can actually contact someone. He can get you plugged into a local group that plays, or even a high school team. The Ultimate field is played with a 70-yard playing field that's 40 yards wide. Each side of the field has an end zone that's 20 yards deep. This is roughly the size of a football field, but nowhere near as wide. So you're basically going to be playing a long, long field with deep end zones. We'll probably tone down the size, but note that we have a rectangular field with 2 end zones. That's what we're going to be looking for when we're playing this game. In order to initiate play, each point begins with both teams lining up at the front of their respective end zone line. The defense throws, or pulls, the disc to the offense. The regulation game has 7 players per team. We might run a few more players on each team just to get more play for you guys, but take note, before you can start playing, everybody lines up on their end zone, and the team that has the disc pulls to the offense. That's much like the kickoff in football. Each time the offense completes a pass in the defense's end zone, the offense scores a point. Play is initiated after each score. Basically what we're saying here is if I throw it to one of my teammates and they catch it in the end zone, it is a score. We get 1 point, and we switch sides, and another pull takes place. We kick it off to the new offense. Now, if I catch it out of the end zone and run in, it is not a score. The score only occurs if the catch is made in the end zone. So make note of that. The disc may be advanced in any direction by completing a pass to a teammate. Players may not run with the disc. The person with the disc, the thrower, has 10 seconds to throw the disc. The defender guarding the thrower, the mark, counts out the stall count. So as soon as you catch the disc, you have to stay in place. You don't get 2 steps. You get however far your momentum carries you out. So if you catch the disc running full tilt, you're probably going to need 3 or 4 steps. If you catch it, you're not moving at all, you have to stay in your spot. Once you catch it, you can pivot back and forth, but you cannot move with the disc. You then throw it to one of your teammates. As soon as they catch it, they do the same thing. Pivot back and forth and throw it. You're allowed to have 1 defender guarding the person on offense, and they can count to 10. If they get to 10 and you haven't thrown the disc, it's a turnover. We'll talk more about turnovers in a second. When a pass is not completed, for example, it is thrown out of bounds, it is dropped, it is blocked, or it is intercepted, the defense immediately takes possession of the disc and becomes the offense. Same if you run out of time on the mark. So you have 10 seconds to throw, they get to 10, the turnover. Same if it's thrown out of bounds, it's a turnover. the defense knocks it to the ground, it's a turnover. Even if the defense catches it and then immediately drops it within that catch, it's still a turnover, and the defense becomes the offense, offense becomes the defense. There's no waiting, the play immediately resumes, and you're back at it. If we play with some players on the sideline, take note that players not in the game may replace players in the game only after a score and during an injury timeout. So you can't substitute players whenever you want. You can only swap players after a score is made or if a player gets injured. Let's say Tim Timothy jumps for a disc, lands, and breaks his foot. He's going to go out of the play, and someone's going to come in to replace him. Hopefully that won't happen, so be careful while playing out there, guys. No physical contact is allowed between players. Ultimate is a non-contact sport. Picks and screens are also prohibited. A foul occurs when contact is made. So once again, guys, be careful while you're out there. There are times when contact's going to happen. Just like other sports that say they're non-contact, sometimes you're going to bump into players. That's okay. What I don't want to see is people intentionally pushing, tackling, or knocking the disc out of someone's hand. This is a non-contact sport, and we don't want to see injuries taking place. So let's be careful while we're out there. As I said, there are other non-contact sports, and fouls still do occur. So there will be some fouls taking place. Hopefully they're all on accident, and when that does happen, I want you guys to take note. When a player initiates contact on another player, a foul occurs. When a foul disrupts possession, the play resumes as if the possession was retained. If the player committing the foul disagrees with the foul call, the play is redone. Basically what it's saying here is, if I throw the disc and my teammate's about to catch it but he gets run into by a defensive player, it's probably going to be a foul. He yells out foul, and then the defensive player gets to think about it for a second, and if he agrees, yes, that was a foul, I ran into you, you were unable to catch the disc, then that person gets the disc at that spot, and we keep playing. If the defender is fully convinced that it wasn't a foul, no, I definitely did not run into you, you dropped the disc before I was even close to you, he can say, no, that wasn't, but then you just redo the play. So, even at the highest level, Ultimate is what is known as self-officiated. It's up to you to call your own fouls. We're going to talk about that next. All players are responsible for their own foul calls and line calls. Players resolve their own disputes. Even at the highest level, it's all up to the players to decide what takes place during the game. You basically can't foul and get away with it, because as soon as you're fouled, you are allowed to call out and let people know the foul occurred. So, when you are fouled, it is up to you and no one else to call it out. You call out foul, you can discuss it, figure it out, make sure that you and the opponent are in agreement with what took place, and then just move on and keep playing. One of the neat things about Ultimate is what's known as spirit of the game, and that's basically Ultimate stresses sportsmanship and fair play. Competitive play is encouraged, but never at the expense of respect between players, adherence to the rules, and the basic joy of play. It's important that you guys play hard and have a good time playing. You should never be playing so hard that you start intentionally fouling or hurting people. You basically make sure everybody's having a good time out there. Make sure that other people are having a great time playing, and you are as well. So, let's see how you guys have done. If you are unsure about the answers to any of these questions, please go back through the slides, see if you can figure out the correct answer. Once again, we're starting play immediately on Monday. We're going to jump right into our first game. So make sure you know the rules, because, once again, self-officiated. It's up to you guys to know the rules and to be able to call out fouls when they do occur. So first question is, can you run after you catch the disc? I just threw the disc up line, you caught it. Are you allowed to move now that you've got the disc? What do you think? If you're not sure, talk to somebody else or check through this video. Next question, what happens if you foul another player? They catch the disc in front of you, and you knock the disc out of their hand. You boldly slap it while they're still holding it. What takes place now? What's happening? Next question, how deep in yards is the end zone? Is it 5 yards deep? Is it 20 yards deep? Is it 33.5 yards deep? Let me know. Can you substitute for a player when one of your team is tired? So this is in the middle of a point. Little Jimmy Joe walks up to you and says, gosh, I am so tired. I'm going to need a substitute right now. Is that okay? Can that happen? Finally, if your team is on offense and the defense knocks the disc to the ground, who is in possession? Are you in possession, or is the defense now the offense? So, check back over, make sure you know these basic rules. I'm excited to start playing with you guys right away on Monday. If you have questions, be sure to come up to me. We'll be answering some of those before class starts. Alright, see you guys soon.